This is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Hi and Happy New Year. I'm Anu Subramanian. With a new year comes a new name for our show. From now on, call us Mojarto on Art. For our first story of 2017, we head to Goa, where the Serendipity Arts Festival brought together some of the brightest artistic talent in India. We also share some upcoming events with you, and we hear a word from mojarto.com. If it's cold where you are, then consider this episode a tropical getaway. This is Mojarto on Art. This week, we're featuring 3 stories about Goa, its history, and its way of life, with help from some of my fellow NDTV reporters who found out more about its people, culture, and food. Most of us use photographs, whether stored in our cell phone camera rolls or pressed into yellowing albums, as a visual diary of the lives we lived. But for Arminio Rebiero, they represent a global journey that spans generations and countries. Rebiero's photographs, which were on display at Serendipity Arts Festival at an exhibition titled Old Homes, New Homelands, tracks his family during the late 1800s and early 1900s as they left Goa for far-flung countries of the world in order to make a living.
These photographs belong to a period of my grandfather and his father, when a number of relatives, they migrated to various parts of the world, and they moved to places like Kenya, to Angola, and whereas my dad's mother's family, they moved to places like Mozambique. They sent these photographs as communications to family members, to keep them in touch with what is happening. They were sometimes connected to events, births, and sometimes they were also connected to achievements.
The show, curated by Prashant Panjiyar, initially was meant to serve as a window into one Goan family's diasporic experience. What surfaced was something even more universal.
I started with an idea of looking at Goan identity in some form or the other. And I wanted to look at it from both archival work and contemporary work. And then I came across an architect, Arminio, through the person who was assisting me on the project, John Menezes, who led me to this beautiful collection of a family album, which gave me an insight on how migrations in Goa happened to across the world in the late 19th century and the early 20th century. But the beautiful part, really, look at this. This is a Goan Christian family in Karachi. But you look at the pictures and they look like an aristocratic Muslim family. This thing, in Hindi we call Vesh Bhusha, no? You get the look of the place. Here in Burma, Tuck, it's there. There's a picture we didn't use in Calcutta. He looks like a Bhadralok from Calcutta. It's like, that's the beautiful part of it.
Who was the person in your family who had such a keen sense of preserving? Because we don't usually preserve our articles, our photographs that well. I mean, we don't have such a strong sense of archiving in our country at any level.
These photographs are right from my great-grandfather. So my great-grandfather's period, the photographs all went into an album. And these photographs would have been like his family album of that period. So they would have remained. But the person who really preserved them and tried to identify them was my uncle Mario. I have had reports that there are a lot of people who go there and actually identify some of their relatives or members over there. So they are taking photographs with their mobile phones, and I'm happy that they are getting this thing that they had lost in their own family tradition of keeping these photographs.
Old Homes, New Homelands was part of a series of photo exhibitions exploring Goan identity on display at Serendipity Arts Festival. Elsewhere at the Serendipity Arts Festival, Odette Mascarenas is looking at the food which defines Goan culture and walking us through its artistic elements as well. Goan cuisine has evolved through many influences owing to its rich history, from the Kadamba dynasty rule in the 1st century to the Portuguese annex in the 16th century. Food critic and author Odette Mascarenas went into Hindu, Muslim, Christian, and Portuguese kitchens to bring to the fore long-forgotten preparations for her culinary curation of Goan food for the Serendipity Arts Festival.
Since Goan cuisine was very close to what I wanted to showcase, it was a challenge. So we decided to sit together and find out how we could really showcase our own local food as art. We decided to break down the term art. What is art? Is when all your 5 senses are totally involved to give you an experience that you don't forget. So let's take our senses. We're talking about the eyes, we're talking about the aroma, we're talking about the texture and the taste, we're talking about the sound which affects us when we eat the food. And we realize that food maybe more so has more of art than maybe the other art forms. Most of these preparations here perhaps are those that are not found in other places, commercial places. Definitely at homes, as you can see, she's sitting on that low stool. I myself find it difficult to do that, and she's making the modaks. Now the interesting part of the modak is the skin, the outer level, which is made with rice and steamed, and then they use the jaggery and the coconut. But if you're talking about an art form, just look at them so dexterously folding it like a flower and pushing it together. In Konkani we say like a little potli. Now, one of the most important ways that we talk about an art form is when you see color. If you're looking at this display of food here and the different colors that are showcased, you're definitely going to be tempted because it's so visually attractive that you just feel like eating. Now the Saraswats used to sit low down on the path, and they used to have a big banana leaf, and they used to have all the preparations here in front of them. Here's something which is really unique. So show me, what exactly are you doing? She is moving that press slowly round and round. It is the rice which has been steamed in that cauldron on firewood and very, very delicately turned around till you get these noodles. Now just look at it. If this is not art, I don't know what we can call it.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, Mojarto on Art continues its coverage of the Serendipity Arts Festival in Goa. Don't go anywhere. Mojarto on Art will be right back.